right, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, I'm Brother Brian here on KIEZ 106.7 FM, the voice of the community. Hey, I got a very special guest joining us today on the voice of the community. I got the chief prosecutor of the city of Monroe. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Good afternoon, Mr. Johnson. How you doing?
I am doing wonderful, and I must say it again. I am feeling wonderful, doing wonderful, and looking wonderful. So, hey, it's a good day on my end.
That's good. That's great. That's great.
Hey, Chief, I appreciate you reaching out to me. I'm sorry. I appreciate you answering my call and allowing me some time to sit here and chat with you and introduce the community to you so they know who you are. I don't know. A lot of people have not been in the city court of Monroe, so they may not be aware of who you are or what it is that you do. So I want to let the family know that you are the chief prosecutor at the city of Monroe, and what you do, you're a leader in the community, but more so, I look at you as an agent of change, because when anytime someone runs across, well, as you know, I'm in the bail bond business, and I have a slogan called "Sometimes good people fall on bad times." So when someone does fall on bad times, they come across your desk, and you try to figure out a way to make it a fair and equitable situation and experience. And that's what we need. We need good people in our community that's saying, hey, I believe in second chances. So I want to talk to you and for you to share with us what opportunities or programs currently exist within the city prosecutor's office that can help people who come across your desk.
Correct. All right. That's what we do here. And I'm not the only one here. We have another prosecutor here also, Mr. J. Rodney Pierre is the other prosecutor here. And we operate under the legal department for the city of Monroe.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And so, yeah, I know about Mr. Pierre. He's been around a period of time. You've been around a period of time. So, yes. Hey, sound like a great team. So in the event, now tell us a little bit about the prosecutor's office. How does it work? What is the difference between at the legal department at the city of Monroe prosecutor's office versus like the district attorney's office? And what I mean is that what type of cases would you see versus something going to the district attorney side?
Here at the Monroe City Court and the city prosecutor's office, we handle mostly misdemeanor cases that happen within the city of Monroe, within the city of Monroe. I think it's Wards 10 and the other areas of the city of Monroe. Basically, what we do, we handle is misdemeanor cases, traffic tickets, simple battery cases, little simple possession, first and second offense, DWIs, and other simple misdemeanor cases of you.
Okay.
And that's what our jurisdiction, the jurisdiction of the city court. So.
Okay. All right. Well, let me ask you this: when a person, say, if I was in a situation, I stopped by the police, I got a report done, I end up having to bond out of jail. Then it's time for court. It's court day. The first time that I go to court, is it set up where that I just go to trial and I plead guilty, not guilty, then it's resolved? Or what is the process in the court system, if you can share that with us?
Well, basically what happens, your first contact is with the police in the street or somewhere to investigate it, whether it's a traffic ticket, is a simple battery case or whatever. And so what they do at that point, the police makes a determination initially on what to do. In some cases, when it's clear to them, they can issue a ticket, issue a summons, even make an arrest. In other cases, when it's not kind of clear to them what to charge or whatever, they will write a report and they will forward it to our office here, the city prosecutor's office. myself or the other prosecutor will review the report and make a determination at that point if a crime has been committed. And then if that's the case, then we will then forward a request to the judge's office for a warrant, what we call a criminal warrant. We go out and then the person gets arrested. However, in all cases, even including traffic tickets, before we get to court, it comes to us also, we review it, and if we decide to go forward with it, the first court date you have is what we call arraignment. And that is when you are officially informed of the charges against you. At that point, you have a couple of options depending on what the case is. You can plead guilty, you can plead not guilty. And the other option, you can remain silent. And the court will, if you remain silent, then the court will take that as you not pleading guilty. And at that point, we'll give you a trial date when you come back and have your trial. Some cases you are entitled to a lawyer. In all cases, you're entitled to a lawyer. You can have your lawyer present on that day, or you can tell the judge, I need to get a lawyer. But in some cases, if you're entitled to a lawyer, and in some cases, if you're not able to hire a lawyer, if you cannot afford one, then the court will appoint a lawyer for you. That is in some cases, not in all cases.
Tell me about that.
Well, in some cases, like for instance, I think the rule of thumb is if the case is such that if you are found guilty or you plead guilty, you can go to jail for at least 6 months. In those cases, you're entitled to a lawyer. If jail time is one of the punishments in those cases, then you're entitled to a lawyer. I can give you an example of a DWI first offense, simple battery, and some other cases that you can get jail time, then you're entitled to a lawyer. At that point, on your arraignment day, the judge will advise you and let you know that you're entitled to a lawyer, that if you can't afford one, then one will be appointed for you. And then they will refer you to Indigent Defender Board, who will then interview you and determine whether you qualify to get a court-appointed lawyer. And that is basically based on income. Your income, they have their own standard, but at that point you will be appointed a lawyer. But in all cases, you're entitled to a lawyer anyway.
Okay.
If you have a seatbelt case and you want to fight it, the court is not going to appoint a lawyer for you, but you can hire your own lawyer and bring him in, so.
Right. So that is the people's right. Whether it's a misdemeanor, but it's predicated upon the level of the misdemeanor, where it's facing jail time or not facing jail time.
Yes. And
so if a person is indigent, the system itself, because of the individual's rights to protect their rights, they will appoint this person an attorney. Yeah. Now, for traffic violations, it's up to that individual to provide their own legal defense in the event if they believe that they desire it. Now, what event if I have a seatbelt ticket and I say, well, hey, I'm at the day of arraignment, I'm saying, hey, I'm missing court today. How can I go about, is it possible I could just pay it and so I could save a future visit to the court and bypass all of that downtime?
Well, the Monroe City Court judges have set a list of cases that you can pay out of court. There are very few traffic citations that you cannot pay out of court.
Oh,
And
really?
yes,
Okay.
and that's a determination that the court had made. And they have reasons for doing that. For instance, if you're involved in an accident, you cannot pay that out of court. You cannot come and say, I'm going to pay it out of court. However, the court, the reason why they do that is because we also try to protect the victim's rights in such cases. So the court wants to make sure that you have insurance coverage, and in the event that you plead guilty or there is damage done to somebody else's vehicle, there is insurance to cover it.
Okay.
So that's basically victim's right. But what we do though at the prosecutor's office, under some of the judges, if you come in and you can present me with a letter from your insurance company that says we have accepted liability, we have paid to fix this person's vehicle, then we can make it such that you can be able to pay it out of court.
Okay. All right.
Another instance where you have to show up to court if you don't have a driver's license. If you have a suspended driver's license, we want to make sure that if you're operating a motor vehicle in the streets, you have a license to do so. And so we want you to get your license. And
That's
so
right.
you have to show up in court. And some of our judges have made it such that we will help you to get your license. If you have a problem with getting your license, they will refer you to probation officers who will help you. They will guide you. They will even call motor vehicle. They will call back route. They will help you to get your license.
Right.
So that you can get your license and drive legally on the streets. So we don't want people driving without license. So if you come without a license, we will help you get your license in some way. And it helps also because if we were to say, okay, if you don't have a license, you get a ticket today, you come in and pay it, then you go out and you start driving again, you know, they'll stop you again, you come back, you pay another ticket. That don't make sense.
Right. Yeah.
So we make it such that we will help you, direct you to get your license so that if you're gonna have to drive, then you have license to drive.
Okay, that makes sense. Accountability and responsibility.
Yes.
The city prosecutor's office is a friend of the community, along with the judges, setting up pre-schedules for individuals to get back on track and become a how can I say it, a surviving person in the community, as always. Yes. So what about this here? We're talking about justice in the community. I know that at one time, I believe the prosecutor's office were the driving mechanism when it comes to documents that were set up at the clerk of court's office dealing with misdemeanor expungements. Can you share some light on us dealing with that process, dealing with expungements? Because some people, as you already know, I'm preaching to the choir, that some people, that may become a barrier somewhere down in their lifetime as far as homes, jobs, education. And so we want to see if a person has made a mistake early on in life, but now we're looking at second chances. How can a person not go about, but doesn't the prosecutor have something set up as far as even just legal documents or something set up at the clerk of court's office where they can pick up some documents dealing with a certain level of expungements?
That's correct. That's correct. And then we even make it better from starting, initially, like I told you, when the cases come to my office, We look at it, we look at the person's background, we look at the type of offense, and if it's like the first offense, or if it's something that, kids do things
That's right.
that are stupid, we try to, instead of running them through the system and have them have a record, we have a program at the prosecutor's office that we call the Diversion Program, and I'm sure you probably heard about that. Now that sets you up for a letter. When you do that, we set you up for community service. We demand that you stay out of any kind of trouble for at least 6 months, and at the end of 6 months, we'll dismiss that. Or in some cases, if you plead guilty, if you have a lawyer, or even if you don't have a lawyer, we'll ask the judge to sentence you under what we call 894, which will then set you up for the expungement. Of course, we have the expungements. You can get a lawyer, or you can do it yourself at the clerk of court's office. They have the forms that you use for expungement, and you can go out there and you can get those forms, and it's pretty much straightforward. Of course, we at the prosecutor's office also have to sign off on the expungements. So when you do that, we will look at it, we will help you, we don't give legal advice.
That's right. I understand.
But we will make sure that you have a list of the things that you need to have. And when you do that, then, we'll sign off on it because we have to sign off on it. And that makes the process easier. So it makes it easier for people who can't really afford to get lawyers, because we have the forms. Of course, if you get a lawyer, it probably make it a lot easier because you don't have to do the work.
That's right. That's right. Pay for convenience.
Yeah, but if you don't have the money and you still want to get an expungement, you can come to the Monroe City Clerk of Court's office. They have those forms printed out there, and they will give it to you. It's pretty much straightforward. And then you bring it to our office, we'll look it over. And if something is missing, we'll tell you this is missing or that is missing, and you can go get it and then get your expungement.
Okay, I like that. Definitely friends of the community. I like that. Now, Chief, I'm not going to take up too much more of your time. I appreciate you actually carving out some time so the people can actually know what it is that you do and how we can actually stop being afraid of the court system and now we know that the court system is set up to be maneuvered and also to be fair and equitable. Now, during 2020, we all in every industry, we were faced with this thing called COVID-19, even the work from home aspect of it. Now, during that time, the courts were closed. People were missing court dates. What has the prosecutor's office set in place to fix or remedy the failure to appear or the missing court dates?
Well, what we do during the COVID, we mostly turn into, how we have to have people come in and talk and stuff like that. And right now, we have a system where you can call in, you can send us an email, you can request such information by email, you can send us information by email. And if you miss your court date during the COVID, all you got to do is come up here and get a new court date. You're not going to be arrested.
Hold on. You can't trick us now, Chief.
It's no trick, I'm telling you.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to tell you this, Mr. Johnson. It is better for you to come in and get a new court date, because if you miss the court date, now, if it was during the COVID, and you missed a court date, or at any time, since after the COVID went down, if you miss a court date, the best thing to do is as soon as you realize you have missed a court date, you come up here to the prosecutor's office. We'll give you a new court date. If it's a situation where we can't just give you a new court date or you have to go to the judge's office, we will direct you where to go. You will not be arrested. I can tell you that. But of course, if you know if they stop you on the road and pull the warrant, you go into jail.
Yeah.
Come up here, you won't be arrested. I can tell you that. I mean, there are one or two exceptions. If you have consistently missed court or something like that, if you have a history of missing court and you have missed every court date that we have given to you, then we're not going to keep giving you new court dates for you to miss it again. But I can tell you, and you know, everybody in the community, if you miss a court date, as soon as you realize it, come up here or come to the clerk of court's office. We'll give you a new court date. You're not going to be arrested.
Hey,
there is a warrant out there.
Right,
you know?
right.
Some people miss court. They don't be responsible enough to come and record it, and they wait until they get caught out there in the street, or they go to renew their driver's license and see that it's been suspended because they missed court. And then that time they start running around trying to do that. That's not the right way to handle it. Okay. We're not interested in actually putting people in jail for things like that. Right. It's not our goal. If you have a seat belt to get a warrant and grab you and put you in jail, that doesn't benefit the government or the city or stuff like that. What benefits us is that everybody come in, take care of their business, you know. That's right. Yeah. Making the individual whole again and getting them back in the process of just living. No need to duck and dodge, but hey, let's get it taken care of, because everyone needs a driver's license. Yeah. Everyone needs to actually have insurance, and everyone needs to live in a state of peace and not fear, worrying about the blue lights coming behind them just because they had a failure to appear on a seatbelt ticket. Something that can be resolved, according to you, with a telephone call. And the best situation is just to come up there and say, hey, I made a mistake. And the chief say, hey, I won't be arrested. So I need to see about getting another court date. Yeah, and of course, annually, we have an annual warrant recall that comes later in the year. And you can also do that. But like I said, the best thing to do is once you realize you missed your court date, come on up here. We'll help you fix it. Okay. Well, I like what I'm hearing, Chief. You might have to pay a few more dollars than you would have, but you will be going to jail. That's right. That's right. I definitely don't like going to jail. It's not a place for anybody. No. But I like what I'm hearing. We're talking about the diversion programs, expungements. We're talking about community service. We're talking about removing the element of fear in the event for minor offenses that we miss court because of COVID, a national shutdown. Man, I appreciate what you are doing. I appreciate what the staff is doing over there at the City Court of Monroe. And what I'm going to do, Chief, is give you the last few moments before we end. And so you can take us out of here. Anything you need us to know about the court system itself. And I know you just mentioned that day about the warrant recall, which happens in the later of the year. I wish you all had two of them, but hey, one is better than zero. So give you the last few moments. Well, I think for that opportunity, I think most people are afraid of coming up here to take care of their business. We want you to take care of your business. We're here to serve the community. Our staff is, trained and they're ready to help you. Sometimes you might have to take a little while to get you straight, but it's better that you come up and take care of your business. It gets more complicated, like, Mr. Johnson, if you stopped out there, if the police, you have contact with the police and they have a warrant out there, at that point, they have no choice because the judge already signed a warrant. They have no choice but to take you to jail at that point. But if you come up here, you know, the thing I can tell the community is with regards to that, if you have any issues, if you have any problems, come up here. If you have any, if you think you have any charges, as soon as you realize it, come up here. You know, the clerk of court will help you. We will help you. The marshals will help you. You know, so we're here to help. You know, we're here to help and make sure that everybody stays clean and keep their nose clear. So don't be afraid to come to us. We're not monsters.
That's right. They're not monsters. They're friends of the community.
That's
They live
right.
in the community. They serve in the community, and they shop in the community. So, hey, no need to duck and dodge. Come on now. Well, Chief, I sure appreciate you. I want to thank you again for taking some time out.
Thank you for having me, Mr. Johnson. It's good to catch up with you again.
All right.
All right. Okay. Okay. Bye-bye.